called the land of Lincoln by some and the Prairie State by others. Fertile farmlands checkerboard the state of Illinois. Once home to buffalo, elk, and bear, today Illinois hosts a large population of white-tailed deer. Southwestern Illinois' golden triangle of Pike, Adams, and Brown counties is a mecca for deer hunters. Small family-owned farms dot the landscape of cornfields and woodland, created and maintained in part by the Conservation Reserve Program. Smith & Wesson's Doug Koenig, Federal's Mark DeYoung, and Hunting's Dick Metcalf have journeyed here to partake in a whitetail hunter's odyssey, where success is often measured against previous failures. This is the essence of real whitetail hunting. Live the experience and join us on today's Peterson's Hunting Adventures. Hi, welcome to Peterson's Hunting Adventures. Glad that you could be with us this week. I'm Tom Gresham.
And I'm Craig Boddington.
We're going to be taking you on a handgun whitetail hunt in Illinois' famed Pike County, along with Hunting's Dick Metcalf and Smith & Wesson's noted competition shooter and passionate hunter, Doug Koenig.
Well, that's right, Tom. Illinois' Pike and adjacent Adams County are respected by whitetail hunters around the country for producing big bucks. On today's show, Doug will be looking for a good buck that he hopes to harvest with Smith & Wesson's awesome .460 revolver. Hunting with a handgun offers quite the challenge, and it's going to be an eye-opening experience watching such an accomplished handgunner as Doug Koenig in action. Meanwhile, Dick Metcalf will be trying his luck with a TC Encore, a 20-gauge slug gun, firing a new Federal Premium 20-gauge slug.
Well, obviously, both of these guys have a lot of experience and they know what they're doing. Can't wait to see it. Let's take a look.
Let's do.
Today's destination is southwestern Illinois, close to the mighty Mississippi River. Just outside the town of Berry lies White Oak Hollow Farm, a 500-acre property sitting smack dab in the middle of the fabled Golden Triangle formed by Pike, Adams, and Brown counties.
Welcome back to Pike County.
Oh, thank you.
Mark, good to
see you.
Good to see you again. Duncan.
How are you?
Great to see you.
Good to see you.
Mr. Doug. Good to see you. My dad Perry, you guys all remember him from last time and whatnot.
Yep.
So, hey, I think we hit it right in the middle of the peak of the rut right now. Things have been hopping. We've been out doing some scouting and been in the field, done a little bow hunting, and it's just been, things are really starting to rev up. I think we're ready to jump right into the middle of it and get things done.
We're ready.
If you want to come on up for a few minutes, we'll talk a few things over and we'll take her from there.
George, it's great to be here. What kind of hunting can we expect on the farm?
Well, Mark and guys, we're in the heart of Pike County here, and I think Pike County in the whitetail world has kind of already been established one of the #1 hotspots in the North American continent, and numbers are high, and real high right now, probably high as they've ever been. We've got a tremendous amount of does and a tremendous amount of bucks. I think the annual kill percentage here is about 60% bucks and 40% does, so we're set right on a bubble. From what we've seen already this year, numbers are good, a lot of good bucks out there. We're going to be hunting from elevated stands. Probably our shots are tower type stands. Shots are going to range anywhere from up close to 120, 125, 30 yards maybe, the way we're set up.
Well, that'll be perfect because we're primarily hunting with handguns and slug guns. So
Right, we're hunting with both this time. Illinois just brought the handgun season in where we could hunt, during open season, hunt for bucks just the year before last. So.
Hey, Dick, how are you? Good to see you.
Listen, we're burning daylight. Why don't you guys get moved into the bunkhouse and we'll get in some tree stand time right now.
That's why we're here.
Stand time in.
Time to get serious?
Go get them.
All right, we'll do that. Looking forward to it.
In his tower stand before sunup, Mark begins glassing his area as the light improves. As the sky brightens, a buck suddenly appears. Unconcerned, he feeds his way across the front of Mark's line of fire. Mark takes careful aim, but is this the buck he's been waiting for?
That's the best buck we've seen this morning so far, but not big enough. That's a pretty deer, just not the right one. They're beautiful to watch though, aren't they?
Might be a better spot. My analysis of the situation is the wind is dying down, so that should improve things a little bit. We're probably going to get some more movement out of these deer in the last hour of sunlight here before sunset, and hopefully we'll catch them as they start to move when they go through this narrow path between the trees here.
Mark's day draws to a close as darkness chases the light from the sky. Mark didn't get his shot at the big one, and as it turns out on this hunt, he never will.
Hey guys.
Hey Doug, how are you?
Good.
Good.
So what makes the Fusion different from any other bullet?
It's really in the manufacturing process, Doug. If you looked at the bullet, people would look at that, and what they would think they're seeing is a lead core surrounded by a copper jacket.
Yeah, it just looks standard to me.
Right.
Doesn't look like anything different.
And, bullets have been manufactured for many, many decades with a two-part bullet system, which is a lead core inside a copper jacket. And you basically take that lead core, and through as a series of punch and die processes, you form a copper jacket around that lead core.
Right.
And what's different about Fusion is it's a completely different manufacturing process, where you are electrochemically creating a molecular structure between that lead core and the copper jacket. So what you end up doing is you end up with complete concentricity inside your bullet. You don't have voids in the manufacturing process, which can plague ammunition manufacturers as you try and put that lead inside a copper jacket.
Right.
So you've eliminated that.
There is no copper cup to start with.
There is no
There's
cup.
just the lead core, and the copper comes in and adheres to it one atom at a time. This is my favorite. I keep this as a keepstake. This is a 165 grain 30 caliber bullet out of a 300 Winchester short mag. That came from my whitetail deer last year. It was launched at 2,600 feet per second, hit at 230 yards from a pistol, hit major bone, completely penetrated, stopped on the other side, and the thing that impresses me is, look, there is no core jacket separation. There can't be.
Meanwhile, Doug's day begins much the same as Mark's.
Small buck down there with a doe. They came up from this bottom. I'm not sure where the bigger. There was another buck there too.
Half a world away, beneath another tower, a buck feeds his way along as the sun rises higher in the sky. Doug watches him intently, silently wondering what the buck's next move will be.
Yeah, he spotted movement in that tower and he took off running. He looked like about a 120-inch 8-pointer is what it looked like from here. It's pretty far away. And still getting lights.
A little later, a good 8-point noses his way along the wood line. But as the deer gets closer, it becomes apparent that all is not as it seems.
Buck. He had his G3 and G4 broken on the right side. If he would have been intact, he might have been a possible shooter. He's probably about a 125, 130-inch buck. Hard to tell when he's got so much broken off. It's first morning, gun season in Illinois, and we're looking for 140 plus buck. So we'll just sit tight and see what happens.
He's definitely a 140. I can see mass from here.
I wish I had my 20 power spot and scope. You can see that buck out there. He's about 600 yards away. That buck there is definitely, I would say, a shooter. You can tell by just the body size, and even from that distance, you can see the horns and tell that he's got a little bit more than everything else we've seen so far. So we'll just have to sit and wait and see what he's going to do. He's got a doe with him, so wherever she goes, he's going to go. So he's just hanging out up there with her. We'll have to just see what happens. Maybe he'll come on by. That buck's bedded down with that doe. They're about 600 yards. We've got some other stands located around it. We're going to get down and try to make a move and ease into one of those other tower stands. And maybe as the day wears on, she's going to come follow the wind, which would bring her right in on our lap.
Climbing down from his stand, Doug hopes he's making the right decision as he quietly makes his way to another tower. Once inside, all heck breaks loose.
Here they come, here they come. Here they. Okay, there's does, 2 does, 3 does. Get ready, get ready. Here they come.
No buck, no buck, no buck. As the does make their way out of range and over the hill, Doug's left wondering where all the bucks went. While Doug's left holding a cocked revolver and no targets, Dick has done pretty well for himself.
I know he's down. Okay, here comes Doug.
I figured it was you that shot. I saw that.
I know she's dead. I saw her fall, so I've just been waiting it out on the guy, make sure he's settled down. We'll go find him. I know it was a good shot.
Okay, yeah.
Here is where he was standing. I saw him go down. I saw him go over. Let's go on down a little further. He's right. There he is.
Nice shot.
I'll bet you the bullet didn't exit.
Yep.
With that, this is the entrance wound. Yeah, mature buck. That's great.
You're using a performance center.
Yeah, Smith & Wesson Performance Center, 44.
Yeah,
You know,
that's the
I
baby brother to
I
this.
know you're using the new 460. I love the new 460, but you know, the tried and true 44 and a white-tailed deer. There's just something about that comment.
Yeah.
Well, what more can you want?
It's perfect.
A trophy buck like this, 100 yards plus, one shot, drop dead. You don't need a better gun. And the doe, now let's go see the doe. Let's go find the doe, because I saw her drop. She turned and went right along here, just walking. And I'm still thinking some good thoughts about this. And then I realized, I've got a doe tag to fill too. You know, and I mean, you're not going to get any better presentation. She's laying right there, yeah. You know, like I said, I didn't want to shoot her while she was on the move, so I just kept tracking her. You know, from a stand up, those stands up there, it's just like shooting from a bench rest. Nice big doe.
Yeah. Nice.
There's a year's worth of venison for my freezer, I'll tell you.
That is a giant doe.
We have a real problem with our deer herd in Illinois, and we're looking at other tools also. One, the deer herd needs to be reduced by probably at least 300,000 animals. That needs to be done, and it needs to be done on the doe side of the equation.
Yeah, I think our hunter friends don't really understand, because they see how well the trophy population is sustaining itself in Illinois. Illinois is still producing the best bucks in the country, and they just don't sense that the doe population is getting out of control.
We're encouraging our hunters to, you know, if you're harvest a buck, yes, that's fine, but you also need to take 2 for 1, if you will. Everybody can't fill their freezer. I mean, you get a doe or 2, and your freezer
And
is full.
that's a real problem.
Yeah. What are you going to do with the meat? Yeah. Well, we're saying we need the meat. We can use the meat. We're going to pay for the processing of the deer. And then we're going to take the meat and we're going to put it in the food pantry.
That's a huge step, because most hunters simply can't bring themselves to waste a deer just to kill it and control the population. But if you got a place to go with it.
We got a place to go with it, and we've got a lot of good partners to help us do that.
With the excitement of Dick's kill relieving some of the monotony, Doug gets himself back up in the tower to wait out the rest of the day, hoping that his turn is coming soon. As the sun sets lower in the sky, the shadows lengthen, and you begin to wonder if the day will end without a shot. Usually, about that time, something will happen to get your blood pumping again, like a big buck headed straight at you. You're ready, pistol cocked. Now it's decision time.
That was a pretty nice buck. 15-inch. 8-point or 9-point, what we're looking for. We're looking for something 130, 125, 130 to 140.
Sometimes we all make decisions we later regret. As it turns out, This might have been one of those times for Doug. Doug missed his chance, and now autumn has turned to deep winter. Cold and buffeted by the north wind, Doug faces the very real possibility that the snow will shut down another day's hunting.
Illinois' second part of the firearms season. As you can see, the weather has come in, changed overnight. We've got about 1.5 inches, 2 inches of snow. It's probably only about 25 degrees out. Very little movement first thing this morning, but I think as the temperature drops, these deer are going to want to come out and start feeding a little bit to get the energy reserve up so they can stay warm.
With the storm gathering strength and moving fast like an ice-bound locomotive, the deer head for shelter from the wind and blowing snow.
The wind is picked up from the west. It's really blowing. Temperature's dropping. The only good thing about that is we're sitting here. We got some food plots, got some milo, some oats. So that's a good thing. The bad thing is we got to sit in this wind, waiting for them.
The storm grows steadily worse as the temperature plummets towards zero. Now the snow is blowing horizontally, worsening visibility and making all things miserable.
Brutal. It is brutal out there this morning. Usually those tall stands are good on wide open spaces, but when that wind comes up like this, you know, we have to change the game plan here a little bit. We've got some good stands down low along some of these valleys where there's traditional travel areas and whatnot.
Get out of the wind.
And I think, you know, we can get down there and get out of the wind and maybe have a little better luck of it. I think warm up here. I know my gloves got wet climbing the ladder with the snow on them. And
Yeah, well, it's about 25 out with about a 20
right,
mile an hour.
yeah, 20 to 25 mile an hour gust up there. It was rocking.
My hands
So,
got a little colder. That I
me
was
too.
pretty good.
Yeah,
But
my feet are okay. But well, let's warm up here and then maybe get back out there.
get a little bite to eat.
Got it.
First light, I saw a pretty good buck and a doe cross the ridge north of me. They cut through this corn and through the tall grass. I watched them move west. I saw the doe come out, she bedded down. I saw the buck bed down right inside the corn. I don't have too much going on now. I saw a couple does at first light cross south of me. I think what I want to try to do is get down, use these food plots as cover, and work my way north and see if I can't get up to this other stand. We've got another tower about 500 yards away. If I can ease into that tower, that's my goal, to get in that tower. Who knows, maybe when they get up from their bed, it'll give me a shot, you know, within 200 yards.
Let's go. Let's go.
It's a good shot. A little bit low, I think. I wasn't quite as steady on this as I wanted to be. It was a far shot. I had range found that ridge and these little cedar trees. It was just a little over 200 yards, about 215. I visually marked where I last saw him, right where I shot when he went into the corn. I'm going to head to that spot, try to pick up the blood trail in this snow. We got snow yesterday. Try to pick up the blood trail and track him. I saw him go in right over here at the corn. I watched that way back over there, that other stand. You know. He came into this food plot. Okay. But I never saw him come out of it. Okay. I never saw him come out of it. So have you found any blood or anything yet? Well, I was coming over to the spot where I last saw him go in. I was going to look there first because I figured once he ran about 50
Move on up to there.
Look at the blood on the corn stalk there.
Look plumb out through there.
Oh my goodness. Yes, he's down. He's down. I see his horns. I see his horns. Nice. Wow. Wow. Wow, that's a heck of a buck.
That's what it's all about.
Look at the mass. Look at the mass.
He has got some girth.
Wow. That has got to be one of the heaviest bean bucks I've ever taken here. That is giant.
Put in the time, be out here, that's what it's all about. Ready?
Awesome. Look at that thing.
You know, that shot that Doug made was 216 ranged yards.
That is truly impressive. Well, you got a world champion shooter using a world-class new type of revolver. He made a world-breaking shot there.
Well, he did, you know, in front of witnesses there's a lot of pressure on a deal like that. Now, that's what being a world champion is really all about.
And he not only is a good shooter, he's a serious hunter.
Oh, he absolutely is, and he proved it. I hope all of your shots go just as straight. Have a great day, and thanks for joining us.
Deer on the